When it comes to happiness, we spend so much time focusing on being satisfied. It's about the positive feeling we get from eating a donut, the satisfaction we experience from a promotion, and the feeling of just being happy when we get a new phone. Once we experience these feelings of happiness, all we want to do is to keep it for as long as possible. So we keep eating donuts, we keep chasing up the corporate ladder, and we keep buying new things, all in the hope of lasting happiness and satisfaction. The problem with this approach, however, is that we will never actually feel satisfied, because the second we get a hold on satisfaction, it just seems to vanish and slip from our grasp. As a result, we continue to chase it beyond the point of what's good for us. We become oblivious to the damage this is doing to our mental health and our own well-being, and eventually our long-term happiness. If we truly want to become happier and feel satisfied, and not just experience it for a split second, it requires truly understanding what it means to be happy and make some hard changes to the way we live. Many of us find ourselves trapped in this never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. We set out goals and create bucket lists filled with dreams, believing that each accomplishment will bring us the lasting joy and satisfaction we have always yearned for. We work tirelessly and diligently, ticking off each item on our bucket list in the hope to hold on to it. And with every achievement, we feel a surge of excitement and happiness, but this never lasts. Even when we pour our heart and soul into climbing these rungs, dedicating countless hours each week to chasing our dreams, we never seem to be able to hold on to it, pushing us to work even harder to obtain it. Now, there's nothing wrong with having goals and striving to achieve something in your life. There's plenty of evidence suggesting that this aids in our happiness and overall well-being, and that it can actually give meaning and purpose in our lives. But if we continue to chase happiness by wanting this oblique feeling of satisfaction, by buying a new phone or chasing the corporate ladder, then we will never be truly happy and satisfied with our life. So getting a better understanding of what it actually means to be satisfied in the first place will help in taking that first step to becoming happier. You have probably heard of the song I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. It's a good example of how we never give up on our quest to get satisfaction and try to hold on to it. Like Mick Jagger sings, Mick Jagger's satisfaction dilemma starts with an undeveloped formula. Satisfaction is getting what you want. However, it doesn't really work that way in the real world. Give a 3-year-old the French fries she's reaching for and see his satisfaction rise. But then after a couple of seconds, watch the wanting return. Our bodies and brains are built to maintain stable conditions as best as they can in order to survive, making it hard to stay on the high or low for very long. This is why drugs and alcohol work as they do, as opposed to how we wish they would. This endless race against the headwinds of homeostasis is also known as the hedonic treadmill. It is based on the observation that there is a tendency for people to quickly return to a relatively stationary level of happiness or set point, despite experiencing major positive or negative events or life changes. This is why people who win the lottery don't actually become any happier than someone who didn't win the lottery. They may experience an initial increase in their happiness, but then quickly find themselves back to where they were before winning the lottery. Or in some cases, even end up being less happy because of changes in relationships and emotions that would have taken place. And the same goes for when someone experiences a loss or a devastating setback. They eventually go back to the natural set point of happiness. So no matter how fast we run on this treadmill, we will never arrive to the end destination we all yearn for. In most of human history, people face the constant risk of not having enough food to eat. So having extra food and resources like animal skins was really important because it meant you could survive tough times like harsh winters. But it wasn't just about survival. Having more than others also made you look better and more attractive. It showed that you were capable and successful, which made it easier to find friends and romantic partners who wanted to have kids with you and pass on your genes. This part of the brain is still present today. Research shows that when we think about buying new things, winning money, acquiring power or fame, or even having new sexual partners, dopamine is excreted, which is a chemical that is part of a reward center that makes us feel good. However, where it used to reward our behaviors to keep us alive, most people nowadays don't need more things to stay alive. So our formula, satisfaction is getting what you want, does not align with today's world, and in fact leaves out one key component, what we have. To be more accurate, it should be satisfaction is what you have divided by what you want.
Does anyone ever experience depression or uncertainty after achieving a goal? Oh yes, yes they do. This is the real riddle of happiness. This is the satisfaction dilemma in a nutshell. Yeah, if I get that watch, I'm gonna love it forever. I get that car, I get that house, I get that relationship, I get that job, that money, that fill in the blank. It's gonna be so great. And it is, for a minute. Here's just a little tiny way to think about how to solve that problem. You, I, everybody, Mother Nature teaches us that to get satisfaction and keep it, you need to have more. That's the wrong model. Your real satisfaction is all the things you have divided by all the things that you want. Now, you can try to increase your satisfaction permanently by having more, or you can work on the denominator of haves divided by wants. You can work on wanting less. That turns out to be the right formula.
In the complex web of our modern society, there are many clever ways in which our desires can be stimulated. Just scroll through your social media feeds and you instantly get bombarded by ads trying to sell you things that you don't need, or influencers telling you about the next new item you definitely need to have. Through such subtle cues, targeted advertisements, and psychological manipulation, our desires are being influenced, nudging us towards purchasing decisions that align with the carefully crafted narratives of marketers, but not our own happiness. So we need to put our foot down and understand that genuine satisfaction does not stem from accumulating more stuff. That's more like being stuck on the never-ending treadmill, always moving forward, but never truly getting closer to lasting happiness. Instead, the key lies in effectively managing our wants. By shifting our focus from having more stuff to managing our wants, we afford ourselves the opportunity to lead more fulfilled and gratified lives. So how can we manage our wants? The first thing we can do is make a reverse bucket list. Many self-help guides suggest making a bucket list as a tool for personal growth, motivation, and self-discovery. This list often includes things like going skydiving, visiting iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower or the Great Wall of China, and achieving career milestones. However, making a list of things you want, also known as extrinsic rewards, is only temporarily satisfying and creates dissatisfaction as they grow. Instead, you should create a reverse bucket list. This means that rather than only listing the things that you want, you also include a list of things that you know will make you happy, or intrinsic rewards. These fall under the category of faith, family, friendships, and work that's meaningful and serves others. Once you have written down these two lists of extrinsic and intrinsic rewards, you can consider how the extrinsic things compete with the intrinsic underpinnings of your happiness for time, attention, and resources. For example, if one of your goals is to become partner of a firm, reflect on how achieving this goal will affect your time and attention, and what the result will be of this down the line in your life. By doing so, you can get a better understanding of things that will actually make you happier, and then commit to pursuing these things. A second thing that we can do is to get smaller. Often we associate managing our wants with decluttering and simplifying our materialistic possessions. While that can be part of it, there's a deeper aspect to it. Instead of constantly chasing after the next big thing or being consumed by thoughts of what we lack, we can shift our focus to the present moment. This means being fully engaged in what we are doing and experiencing right now without letting our minds wander to the past or anxiously leap into the future. And one practical way to incorporate this mindset into our daily lives is by intentionally including one task on our to-do list that invites us to be fully present. It could be something as simple as taking a walk without any electronic devices and immersing ourselves in the sights, sounds, and smells of the environment around us, or sending a daily message to a loved one. A simple act like sending a photo, a joke, or a heartfelt message can create a ripple of positivity and strengthen our relationships. By incorporating these practices, we train ourselves to become more attuned to the present moment and to find fulfillment in the small gestures and connections that enrich our lives. The shift in perspective allows us to break free from the constant pursuit of more and find contentment right where we are.
If you want to learn more about the science of well-being, aka happiness, make sure to watch the next video so you can start building happiness into your life.